Hello, this is Joe, MTL Vintage Cards, bringing you another game from the 1962 New York Mets inaugural season. We are on Game 10, April 23rd, 1962, and we are at Forbes Field as the Mets face the Pittsburgh Pirates. We are using Inside Pitch Cards and Dice version off camera to get the game results, and PC Replay Baseball to capture the statistics. The Mets are coming in at 1-8 so far. Recall that their regular season results, they ended up 40 and 120. Let's get to the starting lineup. For the visiting New York Mets, Felix Mantilla will play at third base. He'll lead off. Elio Chacon will bat second and play shortstop. Gus Bell will play in right, batting third. Frank Thomas will play left field. He's a cleanup hitter. Ed Boucher will play first. He'll bat fifth. Charlie Neal will be at second base, batting seventh. Jim Hickman will play in center field. He's batting seventh. Chris Cannizzaro will do the catching, batting eighth. And the pitcher is Jay Hook. For the 7-3 Pittsburgh Pirates, leading off the center fielder Bill Verdon, batting second, shortstop Dick Groat, batting third, left field Bob Skinner, batting fourth, the first baseman Dick Stewart, batting fifth, the right fielder with a rocket arm, Hall of Famer Roberto Clemente, batting sixth is the catcher Smokey Burgess, batting seventh is the third baseman Don Hoke, batting eighth, Bill Mazeroski, patrolling second base, and the pitcher batting ninth is Tom Sturdivant. Tom Sturdivant in 1962 was 9-5 with a 3.73 ERA. You see his real life number, his gameplay numbers here so far. The leadoff hitter Felix Mantilla in 34 at bats. He is batting 206. In real life, in 1962, he hit 275. And Mantilla right away strikes out. And we're underway in Pittsburgh. Batting second, the shortstop Elio Chacon, 375 in the replay in just 8 at-bats, 236 in 1962 with 2 home runs and 27 RBIs. And Chacon strikes out, so quick back-to-back strikeouts for Sturdivant. 2 down for the third place hitter Gus Bell. He's hitting just 103 in the replay. And Gus Bell will hit a liner. Mazeroski is there. He stabs at it and makes the play for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, the New York Mets 0, the Pittsburgh Pirates coming to bat. Jay Hook, this is his third game. He is 0-1. He has that ridiculous ERA. In 1962, Jay Hook was 8-19 with a 4.84 ERA. He'll face Bill Verdon, center fielder. 663 at-bats in 1962, hit 247, and was an average fielder that year. And Bill Verdon will hit a ball to left field. Frank Thomas is there. Thomas comes in a few steps, makes the play for out number 1. Dick Groat, the shortstop, hitting 318 in the replay, 294 in 1962. And Groat grounds it to Chacon. Chacon ranges to his left, throws it over to first, where Boucher is there, makes the play, and that's out number 2. Third place hitter Bob Skinner. Bob Skinner hit 302 in 1962 with 20 home runs and 75 RBIs. And Hook, that ball sails high for ball 4. And Skinner is on with 2 out. He's a moderate threat to steal, but he didn't get the lead. Dick Stewart hit just 228 in 1962. And Stewart hits a ground ball to Charlie Neal. He'll flip it to Chacon for the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits. One inning is in the books, and we are scoreless. Power hitting Frank Thomas, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, hitting just 143 so far in the replay. And that ball is a pop-up sky high, left side of the infield. And Hoke makes the play for out number 1. Ed Boucher, he had just 87 at-bats and hit 161 in 1962. And Boucher hits a ground ball to Hoke. One hopper over to first. Stewart makes the play, and that's out number 2. 5 in a row retired by Sturtevant for the 6th place hitter Charlie Neal, who hit 260, 11 home runs, and 58 RBIs. And Neal draws a walk. So 2-out walk given up by Sturtevant. Neal is at first for Jim Hickman. Hickman hit 245 with 13 home runs and 46 RBIs. Neal doesn't get the lead, and he's not much of a threat to steal anyway. And Hickman swings and misses. And that's Sturtevant's 3rd strikeout of the game so far. We head to the bottom of the 2nd with the New York Mets 0 and the Pirates 0 for Roberto Clemente. Clemente in the replay, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, batting .289, doing just fine so far in the replay. Swing, that was a foul tip. Next ball is hit to Chacon, a liner, right at him. Chacon makes the play, saves a base hit, and that's out number 1. Smokey Burgess, the catcher, 292 in the replay, 328 in the 1962 actual season. And Burgess will hit a fly ball to Gus Bell. Gus Bell waves away Jim Hickman. He makes the play. And 2 up, 2 down in this inning for the 3rd baseman, Don Hoke. Don Hoke, 241 in 1962 with 5 home runs and 48 RBIs. And another fly ball hit to Gus Bell. This one's a little deeper. He tracks it, though, and he makes the play for out number 3. To the top of the 3rd we go for the catcher, Chris Cannizzaro, the pitcher, and then the top of the order with Felix Mantilla. Chris Cannizzaro, in 1962, hit 241. In the replay, just 17 at-bats, he's hitting 294. Sturtevant kicks and deals. And that'll be a ground ball to Hoke. He's been busy. Easy play over to first, and that's out number 1. Jay Hook hit 203 in 1962. Not bad. The left-handed hitting pitcher will hit a dribbler to first base, to the pitcher, I mean. Sturtevant has all the time in the world. He fires it over to Stewart, and that's out number 2. To the top of the order where Felix Mantilla struck out his first time up. That ball gets into the dirt. That's ball 1. And swing and a miss again for Mantilla. 3 up, 3 down go the Mets in the third inning to the bottom of the third, with Mazeroski, Sturdivant, and the top of the order. Mazeroski in 1962 hit .271 with 14 home runs, 81 RBIs. And Mazeroski will draw a leadoff walk. Yes, he does. So Mazeroski is on. Danny Murtaugh calls on Sturdivant to bunt, but he can't get the bunt down after 2 foul balls. He has been called out on strikes. So record that as a strikeout when you foul a 2-strike bunt. And that's out number 1. Top of the order with Bill Verdon, who hit a fly ball to Frank Thomas, his first time up. And that ball is hit to Chacon. He's ranging to his left. That ball gets into center field. Stopping at second is Mazeroski. We have our first hit of the game. Runners on first and second with only 1 out for Dick Grote. Dick Grote bounced to Chacon his first time up. And Grote hits a fly ball to Frank Thomas. Frank Thomas comes in, waves away Chacon as it is a shallow fly ball. He puts the squeeze on it, and that's out number 2. 2 outs for Bob Skinner with runners on first and second. And Skinner bounces it to the pitcher. Hook makes the play over to first, and the side is retired. Heading into the fourth, we are scoreless. Elio Chacon, who in the first inning struck out. That's ball 1. Swing and a miss again for Chacon. And that is Sturdivant's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th strikeout of the game so far. Coming up to the plate is Gus Bell. He knocks the dirt off his cleats, digs in, and here's the pitch. And that's a fly ball to Bill Verdon. Bill Verdon comes in a few steps. He makes the play for out number 2. The Mets are still in search of their first hit. Frank Thomas, who hit a pop-up to Don Hoke his first time up. And that ball again is hit to Hoke. And that ball gets by him into left field. 2-out single for Frank Thomas. Ed Boucher hit a bouncer to Hoke in inning number 2. And Boucher hits a ball into the gap. Rounding second, headed for third, is Thomas. Verdon digs it out, makes a strong throw to the cutoff man. And Thomas is forced to be held at third. Good play by Verdon to save a run. Back-to-back hits for the Mets with runners on second and third. 2 out. Charlie Neal will be asked to get a clutch hit. And Neal, it's a pop-up in front of home plate. Smokey Burgess drops the ball. Calling an error on Smokey Burgess. Both runners were running with a pitch with 2 out. Scored a 2-base error. And the Mets lead 2-0. Will the Mets earn their second win of the season? Hickman now will hit a ground ball to Mazeroski over to first, and side is retired, but not before the Mets score a pair of runs, a pair of unearned runs on the Smokey Burgess two-base error. Dick Stewart will try to get to get the Pirates on the scoreboard. And Dick Stewart. That is a fly ball over the head of Hickman. Rounding first into second is Dick Stewart with a stand-up double, a leadoff double for Dick Stewart, which brings up Roberto Clemente. Clemente, ball four. He doesn't walk all that much, but somehow J. Hook found a way to have Clemente reach base. So some early trouble for J. Hook with the first two runners in the fourth inning reaching base for Smokey Burgess, who's 0 for 1 in the game. And Burgess singles past Chacon. Dick Stewart will, let's see the chart. Let me consult the chart. S6, second to home. No, he has to hold. So that ball was hit hard to Frank Thomas. He quickly gathers it in and fires it into the infield. The bases are loaded. Nobody out. Don Hoke. Infield is at double play depth. And that'll be a fly ball to center field. Is it deep enough to score? Yes, it is. Hickman gathers it in, throws it to the infield, the cutoff man. Holding at second is Clemente. And the Pirates score their first run on a sacrifice fly by Don Hoke. Bill Mazeroski with runners on first and second. Mazeroski walked and was stranded his first time up. And Mazeroski hits a fly ball to right field. Clemente tags, and over the third he goes. Score at F9 and runner to third. Runners on first and third, 2 out for Tom Sturdivant. Sturdivant hits the ball, sawed off to Jim Hickman. He can't get it. Scoring is Clemente. Holding at second is Smokey Burgess. And the game is tied. How about that? Tom Sturdivant helping out his own cause. And the game is tied. Bill Verdon will hit a fly ball to Hickman. This time he has it, plenty of room. He makes the play for out number 3. And just like that, the Pittsburgh Pirates score 2 runs of their own in the 4th inning, and we are headed into the 5th inning, knotted at 2. It'll be Chris Cannizzaro, J. Hook, and Felix Mantilla due up this inning. And Cannizzaro hits a fly ball to Bill Verdon. He's there. Easy play for out number 1. J. Hook 0 for 1 in the game. And Hook hits a ball to Dick Stewart. Hits a cue shot to Dick Stewart, who boots it. How about that? Score that in E3. And Stewart is beside himself as Hook, the pitcher, reaches base. And that ball sails away from Sturdivant, and it hits Mantilla on the elbow. He's on with a hit by pitch. So runners on first and second with one out, and the Mets are threatening again. Elio Chacon. Chacon struck out his first 2 times up. And Chacon singles to left field. Was it deep enough to score? Coming around second. Coming around third, heading for home is J. Hook. He won't draw a throw. Mantilla will be held at second. And the Mets reclaimed their lead on an Elio Chacon RBI single. That'll be an unearned run, in part due to the error by Dick Stewart. Gus Bell is up, and Bell is 0 for 2 in the game. And Bell singles to right field. Clemente, with his rocket arm, will hold Mantilla at third. So the bases are loaded. 1 out for the power-hitting Frank Thomas, who's also a good candidate for a double play. Danny Murtaugh calls for the infield in. And Thomas hits a fly ball left field. Is it deep enough to score Felix Mantilla? Let's check Skinner's arm. Yes, it is. A sacrifice fly to left field for Frank Thomas. And the Mets reclaim their 2-run lead. We are at 4 to 2 with the third place hitter, Ed Boucher. And Boucher, fly ball of Verdon again. He's been busy this inning. Verdon comes in a few steps, makes the play, side retired, and the Mets score 2 runs and reclaim their 2-run lead heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. It is the New York Mets 5 and the Pirates 4 to 2. For Dick Groat, the second place hitter, he's 0 for 2 in the game. And that ball is hit to third to Mantilla. Mantilla dives to his left, makes the play, fires over to first. Great play. 1 out. Bob Skinner, he's 0 for 1 with a walk so far. That's ball 1. And Skinner singles past Boucher into right field. Gus Bell collects it, throws it to second base. We have a runner on with 1 out for the cleanup hitter Dick Stewart, who doubled and scored in the previous inning. That ball is hit to Jim Hickman. And Hickman calls off Frank Thomas but collides into him. That ball dropped. Holding at second is Skinner, and Jim Hickman will be charged with an error. Score that E8 with a runner on second. Runners on first and second for Roberto Clemente, and the Bucks are threatening again. Clemente walked and scored his previous time, and Clemente, slow roller to Mantilla. He comes in, fires across his body, over to first. That was his only play. Good play. The runners advance, so we have runners on second and third. And Casey will have Hook intentionally walk the hard-hitting Smokey Burgess to load the bases to face the lesser-hitting Don Hoke. And that backfired as that ball rolls into the right field corner. Scoring is Skinner. Scoring is Dick Stewart. Holding at third is Smokey Burgess. A clutch 2-run double by Don Hoke. That strategy backfired. It couldn't have gone much worse for Casey Stengel, the Mets. We are at 4-4 again with Bill Mazeroski. So we'll call another intentional walk. So we have the loaded bases for the 182 hitting Tom Sturdivant. And Sturdivant grounds it to Chacon, flips it to Neal, covering second. Side retired. The Pirates match the Mets, scoring 2 runs. Great game. Heading to the top of the 6th inning, we are all tied at 4. Charlie Neal. And Neal hits a ball past Grote into left field, single. A leadoff single for Charlie Neal. That's the Mets' 5th hit of the game. Jim Hickman, the culprit of the error in the previous inning, will look to make amends. He's 0 for 2 in the game. And Hickman grounds it to Hoke, over to Mazeroski for 1, over to first, in time for the round the horn 5-4-3 double play. Just like that, base runners erased. 8th place hitting Chris Cannizzaro with 2 out. He's 0 for 2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Mets are retired in order, heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. The score is 4-4. Let's look at Hook's freshness. So Hook can face 27 batters and then be tired, and he is tired. Casey will let it ride. Let's see what happens. Ground ball to Chacon. Easy play, out number 1. With Dick Grote. Grote, this is his 4th time at bat. He's looking for his first hit of the game. And that is a fly ball. Way back is Hickman. Back to the wall, and he makes the play for out number 2. The first 2 batters of the 6th inning are retired in order. Bob Skinner. Bob Skinner has a hit and a walk in the game. And he singles past Chacon into left field. A 2-out single for Bob Skinner. Dick Stewart. And Stewart hits a ball deep, goes Thomas, way back. That ball is out of here. A 2-run shot by Dick Stewart, and already his 4th home run of this replay. And the Pirates, for the first time, go into the lead. It is 6-4. Casey's seen enough. J. Hook is the first batter of the next inning. He'll do a double switch. Those of you who have... Here's how you do a double switch in PC replay baseball. So we're going to replace... Cannizzaro since he made the last out in the last inning. We're going to replace him with Hobie Landreth. So Hobie Landreth will occupy J. Hook's spot. Then we'll go to the bullpen. And we will call on with... I think it's Clemente batting. We will call on a right-hander. We will call on Ray Davio. Or Bob Moorhead. We will call on Bob Moorhead, I think. There he is in my pile. Bob Moorhead, we'll put him in Cannizzaro's spot. You see, we're being prompted to put somebody at catcher. So we click on catcher, and then we confirm. So there we go. We have Moorhead pitching and Landreth. We replaced the battery. Casey Stengel did, at least. So Moorhead, this is his 5th game. He has a 1.23 ERA with an 0-1 record. And he'll face Roberto Clemente with the bases empty. And that is a pop-up. Right side of the infield. Neal calls off Boucher. He makes the play. And side retired. But not before. The Pirates score 2 runs in the 6th inning to take a 6-4 lead. Now Sturdivant can only face 22 batters. He's faced 26. Murtaugh has seen enough. So Sturdivant is due up 4th in the next inning, no matter. The Pirates will call on Diomedes Olivo. Diomedes Olivo, in real life, 62 games, 84 innings pitched, with a 5-1 record, 7 saves, and a sparkling 2.77 ERA. He'll face Landreth and the top of the order. And that is a line shot to Stewart. He makes the play for out number 1. Felix Mantilla, 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and 2 strikeouts. And Mantilla against the left-hander will draw a 1-out walk. So Mantilla is on. The tying run is at the plate. Elio Chacon, who had a single and an RBI in the previous inning. And that is a ground ball to Mazeroski. Mazeroski throws it to Grote for 1, over to second, not in time. So Chacon is on a fielder's choice. 2 out for Gus Bell. Bell singled his previous time up. That is ball 1, blocked in the dirt. And swing and a miss, strike 3, and Olivo gets the 3rd out of the inning. Gus Bell is retired, a strikeout. We're stretching here in Pittsburgh with the Pirates leading the Mets 6-4. Moorhead will face Smokey Burgess. Excuse me. Burgess bounces it to Boucher. He waves off Moorhead, takes it to the bag himself for the 1st out. Don Hoke is the next batter. He hit a 2-run double and had a sacrifice fly, so big day for Don Hoke. He has 3 RBIs in the game. And he is hit by Moorhead. So he draws the hit by pitch. And he gets the steal signal. Landreth fires it over to Neal covering. He is out. Caught stealing. Don Hoke is out. So 2 out with 8th place hitter Mazeroski. And Mazeroski fly ball to Gus Bell. Bell is there. He makes the play for out number 3. Top of the 8th. Mets looking to generate some runs as their cleanup hitter, and then Ed Boucher come up. And Olivo deals a ball to Thomas, who hits it into the right center field, in the left center field gap. Collecting it is Verdon, but it's too late as Frank Thomas is standing with a leadoff double. Casey calls back Boucher. He's saying, "Where you going, son? You are not going anywhere," hitting 161. Let's see. Against the left-handed hitting pitcher, Casey will call upon Gil Hodges. Oh, that's a good as choice as any. He can then replace Boucher at first. So Gil Hodges, batting 300 in the replay and 252 in real life. So Hodges replaces Boucher. Olivo fires. And that is a sharply hit ground ball to Hook. He looks Frank Thomas back to second base. One out for Charlie Neal. Neal has reached base in his previous times up, and Neal grounds it to Mazeroski. Mazeroski throws it over to first. Over to third goes Thomas. 2 out for Jim Hickman. Hickman hits the ball to left field. That ball, Key can't make the play. Skinner can't make the play. Rounding first, headed to second. The slide head first, safe. A 2-out double for Jim Hickman, and it is 6-5. Murtaugh comes out. Well, first of all, what usually happens in real life is that the batter is announced, so there'll be a pinch hitter. The pinch hitter will be Richie Ashburn. So Richie Ashburn comes in. Danny Murtaugh has seen enough, and he'll go to the bullpen. But Sturdivant is the first hitter in the next inning, and he'll do a double switch of his own. The problem is, everybody on the Pirates team is a relatively good fielder. No, we'll play it straight. We'll have Roy Face come in. So Roy Face will come in for Diomedes Olivo. And he'll bat for himself, presuming that he'll hold the lead. He'll bat for himself. So first things first, Richie Ashburn, 381, off to a strong start in the replay. He hit 306. The Mets' only 300 hitter in that season. And he'll go up against Elroy Face. This is a 6th game. He has 0-0 record and already 4 saves. With the tying run at second and Richie Ashburn up. And that is a single over the head of Face, almost knocked his head off. Jim Hickman rounding third, coming to home, and he scores. And we are tied at 6. Every strategy in the book did not work here. Terrible managing on both sides of the field. Elroy Face will go up against Hobie Landreth, who lined to first, his only other at-bat. And that is a fly ball to Bob Skinner. Skinner barely makes the catch. And we are tied at 6. What a game. 7. Forgot to remember. And now we need a first baseman. That'll be Gil Hodges. We'll need a pitcher. Yikes. Pitcher. Oh boy. The pitcher will be Ken McKenzie. McKenzie on the season. This is his 5th game. He has a 5.06 ERA. He'll face Elroy Face. Here I go again. This is his first at-bat of the season. Elroy Face hits a dying quail to Frank Thomas. He runs in and makes the play for out number 1. One out for Bill Verdon. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And I believe that is only the second strikeout for the Mets pitchers this game. Let me have a look. I know it's on my score sheet, but let's have a look. Yep, Hook got a strikeout and McKenzie had a strikeout. Let's get back to the field. There are 2 out for Dick Grote. And Grote hits a sharp liner to Chacon. He makes the play. And that's out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. Thanks to Ken McKenzie's excellent relief inning. To the 9th we go. With the score tied at 6. It'll be the top of the order. Felix Mantilla, Elio Chacon, and Gus Bell. What a great game. And Mantilla fly ball to Skinner. Skinner sees it all the way. And that's out number 1. Elio Chacon, 1 for 4 in the game. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is Chacon's 3rd time striking out in this game. Quickly, there are 2 out for Gus Bell. And Bell hits a fly ball to center field. Verdon is there. Then that's out number 3. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Will there be 9th inning walk-off magic for the Pirates? Bob Skinner will face Ken McKenzie. And Skinner hits a fly ball to Gus Bell. He charges in and makes the play for out number 1. Dick Stewart. Dick Stewart, fly ball to Hickman. This one is a little deeper, but plenty of room. He makes the play, Hickman does, and that's out number 2 for Roberto Clemente. Clemente, another fly ball to Hickman. This one is more shallow. He makes the play, out number 3. We are going to extras. We'll see Frank Thomas, Gil Hodges, and Charlie Neal to face, here I go again, to go up against Elroy Face. 5 batters. He'll be tired after this batter. But I think, all things considered, he'll stay in the game. That's a bouncer to Hoke, over to first, and that's out number 1. Gil Hodges is the next batter. And Hodges draws a walk. A 1-out walk for Gil Hodges. Has a range play, 2-5. That is a fly ball. Right field. Clemente is there. He robs Charlie Neal of extra bases. Scampering back to first is Gil Hodges. And there are 2 out. Roy Face tips his cap to Clemente for saving the game. Hickman is up. And Hickman hits a ball to Mazeroski, and he boots it. Mazeroski boots it. That's the Pirates' 3rd error of the game. Ken McKenzie's being called back to the bench. For pinch hitter Jim Marshall. And Danny Murtaugh was on the top step of the dugout. He's calling back Face because he was tired. And it'll be Joe Gibbon, lefty-lefty matchup. So Jim Marshall on the replay, batting .375 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. He'll face Joe Gibbon. And Joe Gibbon in 1962 was 3-4 with a 3.63 ERA. And that is a fly ball to left field. Skinner has it. That's out number 3. To the bottom of the 10th. It'll be Smokey Burgess, Don Hoke, and Bill Mazeroski. Casey is calling for Ray Davio. Davio, 2.08 ERA in the replay so far. You see his ERA in real life, not so hot. And that is a grounder to Hodges. He takes it to the bag himself for out number 1. Don Hoke is the next hitter. Hoke grounds it to Charlie Neal over to first. 2 down, just like that, for Bill Mazeroski. That's ball 1. And that is another ground ball to Hodges. This one's a little bit deeper in the hole. He throws it over to Davio covering, and the side is retired. To the 11th we go. It'll be Landreth, Mantilla, and Chacon. That's ball 1 as Smokey Burgess blocks it. And Landreth hits a fly ball to Verdon. He makes the play for out number 1. Felix Mantilla, what a game. And Mantilla hits it to Mazeroski. Mazeroski, can he make the play? To Skinner. No, to Dick Stewart. Dick Stewart is at first. No, that ball gets by him. That ball gets by him and into the dugout. That'll be a 2-base error. So another error for Mazeroski. Runner in scoring position with only 1 out for Elio Chacon. And Chacon strikes out for out number 2. Lefty-lefty matchup. Gibbon against Gus Bell. And that is a single. Left field. Bob Skinner, he makes a strong throw, and Mantilla has no choice but to hold at third base. Frank Thomas is the next hitter. And Frank Thomas will ground it to Hoke. He'll flip it across to Mazeroski covering. The Mets threaten but don't score. To the bottom of the 11th we go. Gibbon somehow managed to stave off a run. He's being replaced. The pinch hitter will be... oh boy. It'll be Don Clendenin. So Don Clendenin will face Davio. Clendenin, in real life, 302 hitter. Let's see if he can get on. That's ball 1. 3-5, and that ball is hit to Charlie Neal. And Neal boots it and makes a wild throw. So another wild throw by another second baseman, and suddenly the Pirates have the winning run in scoring position. For the top of the order and Bill Verdon. Verdon is a good bunter. I am not a great proponent of having position players bunt. We're going to hit away. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So I am 0 for 3 in managerial decisions so far. Dick Groat with 1 out and Clendenin at second. And that ball is blocked by Landreth. Good play. And that's a ground ball to short. Holding at second is Clendenin. Chacon makes the play for the second out of the inning. And suddenly, there are 2 out for Bob Skinner. And Skinner singles past the box into center field. Coming in to score is Clendenin. And in a dramatic fashion, the Pittsburgh Pirates beat the New York Mets in 11 innings, 7-6. What an exciting game. Let's look at the box score. For the New York Mets, 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, 10 left on base. For the Pirates, 7 runs, 9 hits, 4 errors, 9 left on base. The winning pitcher is Joe Gibbon. He's 1-0. The loser is Ray Davio. Unfortunate unearned run. His record falls to 0-1. Game-winning RBI by Bob Skinner. And the Mets fall to 1-9, while the Pirates improve to 8-3. Why don't we look at the standings real quick? And here are the standings and where we see the Mets at 1-9. They have a ways to go. We'd like to see us get at least over the 40 wins. So thank you, everybody. This was a very exciting game. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider liking and subscribing. And for those 8 brave souls that are currently my subscribers, I thank you. Merci, and until next time.